So are we interested in acting? Are we interested in modeling? Are we interested in both on here? Because I want to kind of gear this towards what we need.
Susan says
Both.
both. Yeah.
Both.
All,
All
all,
right. Okay. All, everything, anything we can get into. That's right. You know,
everything, baby, everything.
what door is going to open? Yes, absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. You guys are going to be in front of all kinds of different industry professionals that deal with acting, modeling, singing, and dancing. So, the more you do, hey, the more doors that will be open for sure. So, let's get into branding. Are we taking the proper steps right now to really understand what we need to be ready for and getting in front of agencies? Meaning social media. What does our social medias look like? Are we taking out steps? Are we doing, photo shoots? Are we posting this? What are we doing to take steps forward to brand ourselves? And what questions do we have about branding ourselves as far as getting into entertainment and what do we want to achieve?
Yeah. And those of you who do not have social media, we do encourage you to start working on that, right? Everybody's got to start somewhere. So don't feel like your 100 followers is all that, is not enough for branding. Branding is important. It's important to think about this stuff. So let's hear from you guys though. What are some of the steps that you guys are doing right now for branding? Susan,
Exposure.
you have your hand raised there. Susan, go ahead.
Hands up.
Hand is up.
So hi there. You know what? I'm a very intelligent woman, really. But branding, it sounds, it's just a brand. What's your brand? Well, I'm lots of brands, I think. I don't know exactly what that means to me, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I
Okay.
need
And
help
I
with
would,
that.
okay. Well, good, good. That's a good way to approach it. I mean, branding. Um, who here follows me on social media by show of hands? Okay, okay, okay. If you don't, you should be. It's really entertaining. Anyway,
Can you
so
throw your socials in the chat for everyone in case they don't know?
I don't know how to do all that.
In the group chat. I'll do it. I'll look it up. I'll do that for you while you're talking.
J Weinstein ACT, I believe is what it is. No, J Weinstein ENT, J Weinstein Entertainment. Check me out on social media. So a lot of you guys that do follow me, right? I've done some reality television shows. I'm
Yeah.
doing some commercials, some acting stuff. Um, and my social media really markets like the brand of that guy that you see on TV, right? The bad boys, right? That reality star. And that is like what my brand is and what sells and what people like and how I get paid and how I continue on in entertainment, right? So I've really kind of found something that works for myself and has built like its own audience. We have the 90 Day Bad Boys. We post these videos, and it looks a lot of fun, right? It looks like we're having a lot of fun. Looks like we're traveling everywhere. But what we don't see is like the countless hours that it takes to make all this content, right? The countless hours to shoot the content, get the edits done, put out, just everything perfectly so it hits. But that is, the research that we've done on our side as far as branding. Like this is the brand, this is what people are buying, right? And it's the same with you guys, right? When we're finding what we want to get into with entertainment, whether it be modeling, whether it be acting, whether it be social media influencers, really understanding, what is your brand, right? And working with your representation, whoever it is, and building that brand to monetize it, right? To actually make money from it. So now we can shoot a minute and 30-second commercial and we can make $10,000 on that. It's because we've done the work as far as branding ourselves. Does everybody kind of understand where I'm going with this? Okay. What kind of questions do we have? Because this is a really important thing within entertainment is to understand like what it is am I going for? What is my goal?
Josh, well, having listened to that, and I do follow you, and I guess mine's fashion because that's what I am. I'm a fashionista
Yeah.
and a 71-year-old fashionista. That's me. If you go to all I'm Instagram, I can't do more than one. I can't handle it. Uh, so, but that's what it's all about, and it's going very well. And I can't tell you how many compliments I get and how many likes I
Yeah.
get,
So,
and
so
it's
Susan,
fun.
yeah, Susan, what I would say to you is let's start to try and find something to mirror after, right? Somebody that's been very successful in your categories, right? As far as like age range, similar likes, and really see like how have they worked their social media for themselves? How are they branding themselves? Like really start to research who's actually made it. That's like your age group, your look, your typecast, and the brands that you like to work with, right? So that's what I would say is really research and like how these people really got successful with marketing themselves.
Yeah, let me add this too also is that everybody's got their own look, and their own type. And so it's good if you guys can really kind of dial in and figure out and understand who you are, right? Like who are you? What is your age
Mhm.
category? Who's the audience that's gonna appeal to you? And there's certain people out there that are gonna just fit one area, one niche, right? You're gonna only be able to appeal to a certain audience and people that are in your category, right? So it's important as an actor or model to really try to define who you are, right? And try to figure out who you are and not try to be everything, right? And understand, like for example, Susan, she's probably not going to appeal to maybe a 20 something year old on her brand
I
because
think you will, Susan.
well, I don't say that in a bad way, but you understand what I'm saying is her demographic. She's
You
gonna
need to go look at my Instagram pictures.
okay.
See,
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like when we went to this expo, we were told to dress our age,
right.
and that's relative, and no short skirts. And I'm like, no, no. I dressed me, and I do it. They loved me. The young girls were all over me. It was a blast. So they do.
Well,
But you're
yeah,
right.
they
I don't know.
no, it's actually great to stand out. I mean, you're a reality star waiting to happen, Susan. Like that's what, we are is we are standout people, right? Sometimes we don't follow the rules. And that's okay. That's okay. Dax, do you have a question, brother?
Yeah, no, so I'm kind of an all-around creative. Originally I used to work in network television, so I kind of worked with a lot of big brands, but I was back in Asia. And we kind of did the whole 360 aspect. So it was everything from broadcast, print, photography, social media, all that kind of stuff. I've only been focusing on Instagram, and as a creative, some of my skill sets, I'm a producer, I'm a director, I'm a writer, I'm a photographer, I'm a video editor. But then I kind of started dabbling into being an artist, and so I started painting and drawing. And then I found out I was a bit of a spiritual artist. So I found out that I was a bit of a medium. And I kind of combined all those elements into one. And video editing can be kind of a long
Mhm.
process, especially if you do it properly. I'm not using any of the phone apps. I usually work on things like Avid or Final Cut Pro or even Premiere
Mhm.
Pro, right? So when you do that, that's actually like filming footage, like commercial filming or even production, bringing it into a program and then actually taking the time to edit it, structuring your edits and all that kind of stuff. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like timely,
So
right?
Dax, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
It sounds like you are a creative and you're working on a lot of different projects. How do we make money, right?
So yeah,
How
that's the next that would be the next thing. Based off of like the discussion in terms of like Instagram. On one end, to develop your brand, there's various things like setting up your own website, ensuring you have things like, for example, like you're where the market is at, focusing on just a few platforms at first. Mine specifically was Instagram. And based off of that, one thing I came to learn in terms of like trying to get followership was that like in any business, it's pay to play, right? So you're usually like paying for a lot of, or you're paying for your followers. And as you're paying for your followers, then you have to kind of make a decision as to whether or not you're paying for something like legitimate followers versus bots, versus like scammers and a whole bunch of different things, if that makes sense. So I haven't really been focusing on gaining followership and just kind of been doing my thing. In terms of how to make money, it's tricky because you're based in a situation where, of course, you have to grow your brand online in the digital verse, right? And as you grow your brand in the digital verse, that will also be required to either pay out to other people, but also someone like me who kind of like builds websites, does social media, kind of does everything, a bit of a jack of all trades. Um, Based off of that, like I hear what you guys are saying, you can't really focus on trying to do everything. In most cases, then you end up going, okay, well, I have to fit in a particular category. So let's say
Well,
building your brand in Instagram. Am I an actor? Am I a model? Am I like a artist? And currently I'm just an artist because that kind of encapsulates everything.
Hmm. Right. I think you need to really focus in more on what you're trying to sell because it sounds like there's too many things on the table and it's spread out all over the place. And being like a video editor is great, and it's also a great way to get followers, right? Making 15-second reels, making 30-second reels, and just like really flashy, cool things that incorporate your artistry and like putting those up and generating legitimate followers.
Yeah.
But I think you really need to focus on yourself and figure out like start honing in because it just sounds like it's too spread out everywhere. And I think that you need to really focus on what is going to make you money.
Yeah.
And then focus in on what that is. Still do everything else, right? Still follow all your passions, never lose that. But really, like you have to work on the thing that's going to actually pay you the most.
and
Yeah,
So
true.
let me
I,
add to Dax too. As far as like paid followers, I definitely highly recommend not doing that, and because of the bot situation. And nowadays, people are smart enough to know if somebody's got paid followers or not. Like if you see somebody with 1 million followers on Instagram, and they post a photo and they get 5 likes, you
Yeah.
probably you know they're probably had bought their followers, right? And companies are smart enough nowadays to know that as well, right? So if you got Calvin Klein that's interested in what you produce and they want to work with you, they're going to look at that and they're going to wait a second, he's got 1 million followers, but how many does he actually have, or how many are engaged? So there's definitely a sense to the fact of like paying for followers. Like you can place an ad for, say, Dax the artist. You could be like, hey, Dax the media artist, and he's editing videos. And if you post an ad online and then you're pointing people to your Instagram, you're going to get
Yeah.
followers that way, and you're paying for your ad. So it's a little bit different because people are, those followers that you're advertising to, they're becoming fans of yours. So
Mhm.
there's definitely, things like that as well. But what is good to do is to dial in. And let me just make this one point quickly before we move on. But what I want, let me just share my screen here. See if everybody can see this. So everybody probably knows who this guy is, right? Everybody knows who Danny Trejo is. You guys can see him there. So he's had a very, very, very successful career in Hollywood, and he was in prison for a while, and then he came out of prison, and he got representation and got into acting. But with Danny Trejo, he looks like a bad dude, right? I mean, you probably don't want to run into him in the alley at midnight.
I've met him in the airport.
And he's
He's
actually
short.
he's a really nice
He's
guy,
very
right?
he's short and he's extremely nice.
Yeah, very nice guy. But he comes from he's got actually a really cool documentary if anybody watches that. Look that up. It's really interesting. But he he's a certain cast type, right? So he knew he was going to be a bad guy in all his movies. He didn't tell his agent, "Hey, I want to play a leading romantic man," right? He didn't tell him, "That's who I am. I don't want any bad guy roles. I'm tired of these bad guy roles. Why am I always playing the bad guy? I want to be a leading, next to like kind of a Kevin Costner type or something, right?" He knew who he was and he embraced it. And he's had a huge
But
successful
you, right?
career, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's why they always portray me as the ladies' man.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just stuck with it.
It-
No,
so
but
it's important to know who
I
you
want
are.
to. Yeah, I also want to say something about buying followers is at some point that's going to work against you. All right. And what I mean by that is, so as you're gaining followers and you're gaining, fame and you're gaining, representation and all of that, you're gaining these followers. Well, your count will start to rise, but then what's going to happen is those fake followers are going to start following up, like falling off. So then it's like you're not able to really follow the traction. So that's what I would say. But, really focus in and start making like 15, 30-second clips and making them really cool and focusing on views on those alone. So, Hector, what's up, brother? What you got?
Yo, so speaking on the whole branding aspect and everything about that. So one thing that I've kind of learned throughout my process, because I'm also a massive creative kind of guy. I've been making music for the past 5 years, recently started doing YouTube, streaming, photography, anything to kind of get my face out there, and which is why I more so stick to like doing crazy hair colors just to kind of garner that kind of attention towards me. Because I feel like with my case, the more that I keep putting out content, the more videos that's out there, you kind of see a little bit my personality, whether you're looking for the music, whether you're looking for the gaming, whatever kind of stuff I'm doing on YouTube. And the longest struggle that I've had with that was kind of having a balance because I've seen so many people, they'll do all these different things, but they take on different monikers as they're doing these different things, which can work in their favor and sometimes it doesn't work. So I wanted to kind of do the opposite of that, and I really wanted to slap my face on any kind of content that I do to kind of have a broader range of audience, just in case if something that I do doesn't work for somebody, that's fine because some other content might be for you. And that's kind of where I've learned to kind of target that and make that my brand of just like, all right, the colorful hair kid who's eccentric on camera, always laughing, always having a good time. Oh shit, he makes music. Oh shit, he Twitch streams. Oh shit, he does hair and YouTube. That's crazy. Um, that being said, one thing that I've always kind of struggled with was so this is my first time doing any kind of audition for modeling, acting. Um, I've always been interested in that kind of thing as well. But I guess my question is, with all the other stuff that I'm doing, is it still possible to not really spread myself thin doing all that and then on top of that trying to get into modeling and acting? Or should I kind of pinpoint my focus onto one thing entirely and do the rest behind the scenes?
Yeah, I would say that it sounds like you already have a pretty good handle on like what you're doing and what you're creating. And it sounds like you are building a broad audience for it, which is good. I like it. But what is your goal? Like what is it you want to accomplish as far as entertainment? That's what I would ask. What is that?
So my accomplish, or rather my goal, all I really am aiming to accomplish is to get my name out there, whether it is a massive, like, famous index or it's to build kind of like a cult following. So even if I'm not at the top of the top making like the $1 million, my main goal is just to kind of make this like my career path in general, whether
Hmm.
it's like specific casting, whether it's just modeling. I'm kind of more so just gearing myself to getting myself out of like stretching myself thin with school, working full time, and all the content, and just try to put my time and effort into just the content.
Yeah, well, in order to do that, we got to start making money with it, you know? So I would
Yeah.
say, you know, keep going and really, I know that I believe you're going to October, right? That's what you're going, October parties
May,
or May.
May.
Yeah, and I would say that that's the
Yeah.
goal, to really find representation and, you know, continue to do what you're doing, but also learn like from here, from behind the scenes. And your brand is you already, right? The hair and everything that you're already doing, and already everything you're already creating. So you already have that brand of yourself that everybody knows of you. So I would say to keep that brand, and then really just how can I make it better, right? How can I make my brand better? And that is with modeling, that is with commercial work, that is with doing things like that. But I would say definitely keep up with the content creation for sure.
And double down
Okay.
on the stuff that's working too. Like if you're posting and you're seeing like, oh, I got twice as many reactions, or I got, a lot of people that liked that, kind of dial that in. I mean, those of you who were on this last session with Josh and I, Josh kind of shared his story with the 90 Day Bad Boy Instagram account, how it was just kind of a whim. It wasn't even something that Josh, you didn't say, "Hey, we're going to create this Instagram account, we're going to do this thing, and that's what we're going to do." You guys
Yeah,
just created
just
the first
happened.
video, right? And then it took off. So he's like, "Oh, hey, people like it. So let's do
Now,
another."
now it, yeah, now it is a brand because
It's a
I
great
saw.
story. It's a great story. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it is a brand now, right? And to so we've created something and stuck with it and really honed in that one skill of the 90 Day Bad Boys into where like the network is actually taking notice, and it's like, okay, what can we do with the Bad Boys? Like I've made it a brand that they had to recognize, that they had to say, okay, these guys, they're doing something big. We're all on the same network, like, and all of the audiences are taking notice. So we need to act, you know, on this idea with these guys because they're gonna make some money with it. So let's all capitalize on it. So and that's what kind of branding is, and really finding, you know, what that one thing that's really gonna hit and make you money and get you, you know, out of the everyday work, you know. Shanika, you have a question.
Yes, I do. Hi Josh. So
Hey.
for me, I know what my brand is. I think I'm that charismatic girl, that, next door neighbor girl, somewhat, funny. But for me, I don't have a big like social media presence. And will that deter me from getting where I need to be?
Where do you want to be?
I mean, I'm the girl that want to be on the Tyler Perry series. I want to be on Netflix. I want to be on commercials. But just personally, I don't have like a social media interest.
Well, I mean, social media unfortunately really plays hands in hand with a lot of decisions. So, you know, because here's the thing is you're in entertainment. You're going into entertainment. People want to see entertaining things, you know? Like why are you on TV? Why are you like what you've done? Um, what is your social media? I'd like to know.
Oh, it's King Melanin underscore CUTTIE. Yeah.
What,
The
what
last
it,
time I
all right,
King
what it,
Melanin. I can type it
KM?
in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
type
put
it
it
in.
put it in the
Yeah, I'll
chat
type
for
it in the
us. Yeah.
chat. Yeah.
You're gonna get 20 new followers now.
Yeah.
Oh, the chat is disabled.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. I don't know if I'm able to turn that on now or not.
Or maybe somebody could help us type it in somewhere so we can check it out.
Oh, sure.
But it definitely, I would say that we need to work on it. And if being in comedies and being in features is what you're looking for and what you're wanting to do,
Mhm.
well, there's there's a couple ways to really go about this and put your like showcase what you can do, right? One is you can get a demo reel, like an acting demo reel of, you know, certain things that show your range as an actor, right? What does she look like angry? What does she look like sad? What does she like? How does she do a rom-com, sorry, and
Mhm.
a romance movie? And so really focusing on what it is that you think you really want to do. Tyler Perry funny. Is it more Tyler Perry funny, like comedic stuff?
So yeah, so more a bit funny and dramatic. And of course I do want to work with I'm going
And
back
and uh,
Kevin Hart
and
one
here's
day. So yeah.
yeah, I have a couple friends of mine that are working with him, and I'm actually shooting a feature film this month, July. Oh, sorry, July. Me and my son are in a feature film that is coming out, and we're working with Adam W., who works with Kevin Hart. But it's really important if you don't have that reel to have some kind of range that you can see on your social medias, right?
Mhm.
Because if I'm going to be meeting somebody that is in entertainment, like I'm going to their social medias and I'm seeing like if they're entertaining,
Uh-huh.
that's what I'm doing. And so I would say to you kind of what I said to Dax is find somebody that you really look up to in this world, right? Who you're like that like they've done it, like this is where I want to go. And what does their social media look like? I mean, do they have movie clips? Like are they doing reels? And most likely if they're like famous, they don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But, starting out, like you want to show some type of range where like, oh, I go to your socials, I'm like, yo, this girl's funny, right? And because if I follow you on social media and I know you're funny, right? Like, and I'm working on the production side of things and we're making a movie and you fall into a typecast that I might know and I'll be like, hey, oh wait, check this out. And like things happen just like that. It's all about networking, but you have to really build the social media up so that like we know what you're going after, right? And
Yeah.
so kind of the same thing with Dax is really find, somebody you're looking up to, and looking at their socials and what they're creating and start creating content like that and pushing it out, like pushing out reels. Listen, I know it's content creation. It's time consuming. Sometimes you feel dumb doing it, like all of that. But like the final product of it all is very important. Very important. Like, because we're in entertainment. And Shanika, your goal is to be in entertainment. So we want to know that you're an entertainer.
And Shanika, I think I just fixed the chat. You
Yeah,
should
you
be able
did. It
to.
just popped up. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And one
Type
thing,
it in there. I want to look you up.
no,
The last time I posted it was in 2020. I'm like so ghosting.
2020.
Yeah.
Shanika.
I told you I
Shanika.
don't have a presence.
well, let me say this too. It's important to have, and I see castings take place, every single day of the week. I submit clients on castings, and I'm seeing it more and more often where casting directors are asking for clients' social media handles when submitting on a project. And again, you don't have to have 2,000 photos or videos up there, right? You don't have to have even 200. There are accounts that have 15 photos posted and millions of followers, right? So it's just about having a presence.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Think about that. Like we all have to start somewhere too. So don't think like Shanika, don't think, oh my gosh, I haven't posted in years. Yeah, you should be posting beyond what would you say the last time you posted was?
2020.
2020, yeah. It's probably good to
2020
have
is
maybe something
crazy.
something current. But
Yeah.
but
And
don't feel like you have to have 20,000, 200,000, 2 million followers to have success.
yeah.
It
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I want to, sorry, I want to interrupt you really quick. Because Jason, you put your social media in there. One second, one second. Hold on one second.
make sure that you do have something that's a current photo of you too, right?
So
People are looking at this.
one thing I want to mention really quick, um, is Shanika, why are we private? I mean, is there a reason that the
Thanks for
Instagram is
bringing
private?
that up. I didn't even know it was private.
Yeah, it's private. So if we're getting into entertainment and we're going to be entertainers, we need public access to social medias. Okay. Until you're like Brad Pitt famous and somebody's just running a side account, like we got to hustle. We got to hustle and we got to see your social medias. I just typed in Jason, your social media, and Jason's great. It's public. It has branding. It's showing range. It has a lot of different things on there
Thank you.
that I'm like, okay, this guy's an actor, right? Like, what's his range? And now, Jason, we only have 386 followers. That's okay. That's okay because we can still see the range on there, like, and
Right.
your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. So,
Right.
and Jason's Instagram is in the chat there. Make sure you guys check it out. And make sure you guys also check out like the 90 Day Bad Boys and also my Instagram and just look at, what am I posting and why am I posting it, right? If I'm making a post, it has to make sense because now I can get paid for posts, right? I can go and we can make a video and I can make $10,000 on a post, right? Because I've done all the work on my side of things, right? But Jason, it's a great start in your socials. So
Thank you.
Shanika, check out Jason's profile when you get a chance, only because he has good direction on there, and you guys are both in the hundreds of followers, so kind of see what's going on.
Mhm.
It's good.
I just wanted to add one thing,
Yeah,
if that's okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so if you when you watch the reels I have, like the ones where you see like neutral background, like the self tapes, I call it Real Deep and not REAL, and it's basically so the main focus is trying to or attempting to get the audience to get in sync with the acting. So I added a score during the scene and a score that matches the energy and the vibe of the movie or the video.
Hmm. You know what I would think that'd be really cool for you, Jason?
Hmm.
Just brainstorming here. Is it seems like you like the action, you like kind of like the villain, or like this is your type of
Yep.
character,
Yep.
right? I would say this to you to just gain followers and gain like traction on your Instagram, and this goes really for anybody, is do something that is disruptive. You know what I mean? Do something that is just not in the ordinary. Do something or film something that makes people like, what is that real? Like, and they're having to watch it over and over again,
Yeah.
right? And for you, I would say be like, like what would be really cool scene is if you filmed a little scene where like somebody was messing with you and you like knocked him out cold, right? And then like you get a close up of him on the ground. It's a scene, like don't actually knock somebody out. But
Yeah.
but like make it so good and real that people like have to watch it. And
And
so that's what I would say as far as just like think outside the boxes. Like
that's
how can I make this cool? Like
that,
I'm gonna create something that like really is just
yeah.
people think I'm actually knocking this dude out.
Right. No, like in my reels, see, that's the thing. Like I when you said entertainer, like that's kind of what I am. I do voiceover, so I have a really good voice, vocal tone. I do impressions. I really can be funny and I can be really serious, which like I'm typically I can do the villain, but I also have like if you watch the reels, I also have emotional range too, like the range, the power behind every word, and just exposing it, like. So I'm not afraid to do that at all. Even I've done talent shows, so like I've done it all. Like I did an acting gauntlet in Florida, and also did fashion. But I also love fashion too, as you could tell. I don't know if you ever heard of West Side Gun, the rapper. He does art, and he loves basically art and hip hop. So he basically kind of incorporated both. So if I'm doing fashion runway, which I will definitely do, I definitely love that edge, like Balenciaga and what I mean, just like all that kind of stuff. And movie acting, emotional power, I love bringing it. So I love those two
Yeah.
things.
I would say, yeah, I'd say you have great direction, man. You have
Thank
great
you.
direction. Are you coming to a production?
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't show myself. I was literally on a bus with hundreds of extras, so I was a part of a Kevin Hart movie called 72 Hours. So I'm just leaving now as soon as I get done here.
No worries, man.
No worries, man. Yeah, so I think that you have great direction and even into fashion, like you know, being more like the Johnny Depp type fashion where you know Johnny Depp's a bad boy, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's your look.
Yep.
Dax, you're private,
Josh,
brother.
hey Josh, if you bad boys ever think y'all want to put some bad girls in there, don't forget about me, okay?
I got it. I got it, Susan. Thank you
See,
for
You
Susan's
know what
taking
else I was
advantage.
thinking?
She's
You can
networking.
take and run with this. You can take this. You know the Golden Girls,
I do know the
okay?
Golden Girls. That's showing my
Man,
age, but yeah.
it's time for another Golden Girls. Okay?
Love that show.
With different, you know, they're old and probably some of them are gone or whatever, but wouldn't that be cool? Hey, just a
Hey,
thought.
Susan, you know, I like the idea. I like the idea. And you should shoot something, you know, like
I know.
you should shoot something. And what I mean by that is like you can shoot a little demo reel if you have a couple other people like uh
I don't have any friends.
Do a Golden Girls remake. You're at a friend's house right now. You said you had friends.
I don't have any friends. The singular Golden Girl. Okay. All right. No. Okay, got it.
I
Got
don't
it.
know. My friend, last time I saw my friend, she was standing over there playing with her belly button.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Okay, just a thought. I like
So
it.
Well, is it an innie or an outie? Got you. I got you. Really quick, I want to say something. Ryan, can you put your social in the chat? I want to check yours out. Everybody put your socials in the chat, please. I want to look at Instagrams. I want to see what we got going on. And make sure they're public. We're getting in, and unless you have like something personally going on, like you don't want people to find you, like that's okay. But we're getting into entertainment, so we want to be public on our socials. Okay. Jason, what's up, brother?
Okay, yeah. So the only thing I wanted to add is like just because one person doesn't like it, the next person there's always an audience for everybody.
There is.
That's what I learned
Absolutely.
for like years.
Absolutely. I
Yep.
agree. I agree. There is
Def-
there is an audience for everybody, and there are places for everybody in entertainment. Like it's really following, you know, your dreams and actually doing it and like making it happen because the only one that's going to be able to make it happen is you know, and you have to know that, and you have to reassure yourself that you are that person. And that's one thing that I do like to myself is, you know, sometimes I'll look myself in the mirror and I'll just tell myself, hey, you are a star, man. Like you are a star. You are the reason, you know, like and you know, you give yourself that reassurance and believe in what you're wanting to do and what you're wanting to create. Because if you don't believe it, well, nobody else will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What
I
one
made mine public.
one thing that we haven't touched on too is also, you know, with our social medias being public, make sure we're not like drunk posting either, right? You know, like Josh, how often do you guys drunk post your 90-day bad boy videos?
Never.
Yeah. So everything you post is with intention, right? You know, don't.
Hey, if we're out having a good time, like we know, like, hey, phone's away, right? Like this is because we are public figures and people are going to criticize everything that we do. And so you want to, you know, keep that off, especially if you're a professional entertainer, like you want to keep that off. You know, unless you're just known for that, like, and you just, oh, you know, Kanye West and he's doing Kanye West stuff again, you know, like leave it off. Leave it off.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it seems kind of daunting, social media. Some of you out there who have not started yet or haven't officially begun the journey, and hopefully today we've given you guys some food for thought on doing that. But it seems kind of daunting, like where do we start? But you know, until you actually step out and put yourself out there, you know, that's really what it takes is that first step, you know, posting that first
Does.
video, posting that first photo. Do the work to do that, right? And then the rest will come into play
Yeah.
and your path
And
will be kind of guided from there.
yeah, and
Yeah.
research accounts that people, you know, that are really doing things and
Yeah,
look into their accounts and just study that.
yeah, follow
Hey,
people that you like.
Ryan, I want to see your socials, buddy. Hey, can you put it in the chat?
All
You're
right, Josh you got another follower, Josh.
Yes.
welcome.
I don't see it in the chat. How come I can't see it?
I can copy that.
Oh,
Shanika, what's up?
Yes. So my question is, as someone who is, an aspiring actress, just trying to get her, her foot in the door, how often do you recommend, like posting of, headshots and
Well,
just,
headshots or posting in general?
well, headshots and posting in general, since I am not one of that, person.
Yeah, I mean it really depends on what we're going for, but you want to stay active and in the algorithms of things. So, you definitely want to post, especially if you're trying to gain followers, at least twice a week, if and gear it towards what your brand is, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
just start creating content. Like create content of you doing reels, create content of you doing comedies, like do like movie scenes and like act them back and like post it and put them on different platforms and just like give yourself like an arsenal of content that you can just post, even like it's not that you got to do it, I got to do a video today. Oh, I got to do a video. Like have content days where you're just creating a lot of content. You're feeling, you know, creative and you're really into it and just hold on that content and post it, like twice a week, 3 times a week. And, hit your stories, post it and then put your stories on there. Post something funny on your stories like every few days, because what you're wanting to achieve is in entertainment is movies and getting into comedy and like we got to know that you're funny.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Otherwise we're just not gonna know.
Yeah, we got to see you're funny. The
Oh
world
boy.
wants to see you.
I actually do have, but it's just I've never posted them.
Don't be shy.
I
Don't be
kind
shy
of
to
add,
post it. Like who cares what you look like? Who
yeah,
like
it's
put it
not
up
more
there.
of being shy. It's just more of like what I think Dax was the person who mentioned it. It's just like the criticism. That is my weakest area where people criticize things, and I'm
Oh,
like, oh
let me
my
tell you,
God.
I get criticism every minute of the day, like on social media, right? I have a lot of followers and we create content. And because I'm on a reality show, people might think that they know, this person as this way, and you only see
Mhm.
certain things and they might not like them. And then it translate into your social media. And they're constantly, I'll tell you what, they are constantly talking about me, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's true, whether it's false, they're talking about me. And that's really all that matters. So now they're talking about me so much that I've been put on every every show on TLC as far as the 90 Day franchise. They have me in every single season on other people's things, because I've created that. Like they're talking about me. So if they're talking about me, whether it's good or bad, they want to see me. They want to see what we're gonna
Mhm.
do. He's an actual entertainer. Like we want him on there.
I think I criticize your Instagram every day,
Yeah.
Josh. You see my comments? Well, very
yeah.
good. We do have to get going. We do have another meeting
Just
to attend, but I got to get going for the day. But um, real quickly, hopefully that helped. And I think the biggest takeaway that you guys should do is get started.
Yeah.
That's the important part is, and I think that's what Josh is trying to emphasize. You may not know exactly who you are as an entertainer or as your brand. Pick out brands that you like, and that you can see yourself being a part of and see what they're posting and try to post content that kind of matches what they might be interested in. Don't copy their content, obviously, but you know, if
Yeah.
you like if you like a certain celebrity and you see somebody that's kind of in your range in your style, following them and kind of think of ways that you can kind of do similar types of posts, but in your own personal way, right? Because we're all unique individuals. Anything you want to leave the team with, Josh?
Yeah. Ryan, your socials are great, brother. I like them. Everybody on here, it's very unique and has a good look. Karen, I did look at your social. We got to work on that. Um, we need to post more. Susan, your socials was phenomenal. It was great. And I want, yeah. And Ashley, I know we know each other on social, but you, young lady, need to post more. You need to post more, and we need to talk about that. But and then Karen, we definitely got to work on your socials as well. And kind of the same thing with Susan is find who we're looking to be. What are we looking to go for? Is it a commercial look? Is it fashion? Is it, what is it? So make sure you guys are joining these meetings. Make sure we're signed up on Spotlight, and make sure we're actively participating in things, to really better ourselves in entertainment. So
Yeah,
if you guys
absolutely.
have any questions, make sure you're asking. I think there's a little chat thing on Spotlight,
On
right?
the
Where
lounge,
people
yeah,
can,
you guys can chat with each other, you can network, and
yeah.
that's what this
Put
is
your
all about.
guys' socials, dude. Put your guys' socials on Spotlight.
Right,
Like, I
right.
mean, put them on there so people can follow you. Like, you got to start taking proactive steps to build your social media accounts. We're entertainers. Like, we're here to entertain. So, let's get in it.
Yeah.
But guys, I gotta run. I want to say thank you guys all for coming on
Thank
tonight.
you.
It was a pleasure talking and chatting with you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be here next week. I may be here next week with Jeremy. I don't know yet. I am filming. I'm actively filming a few different television shows. So.
If Josh can't work out his schedule next week to be with us, we're gonna have more fun next week, I promise.
Thank you, Josh.
It's always fun. It's fun with me, and everybody knows that, Jeremy. All right, guys. Hey, thank you guys for your time tonight. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah, good seeing everyone.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I'll see you
Josh.
guys
Good to
soon.
meet
Okay.
you.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night,
You.
everyone.